so maybe it's just from my end then, Cameroon, and you were
Mhm.
raised in Cameroon before moving to the United States. You're actually from Awing, which is in the
Mhm.
Northwest region. I think I know how to say hello in Awing. Apele.
Apong. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it. You got it. Yeah.
I got it. So we're starting on a good foot, and I hope that all my Awing people are in the house ready to support like every day and everything.
You did
So
great.
man, just tell a little bit about you. Give us a little brief about you, about your childhood, your family, where you grew up, where you went to school, and up to this point.
Yeah, like you said, I was born in Cameroon. My one-up station, I win Pekin. I sing,
Yay!
I rap Awing in everything I do, man. You hear my songs, you hear Awing all the way. I rap in Awing, speak Awing, and I moved to the United States at 14, age 14. And Yeah, it's just it's been great. I try to go home every like 2 3 years, but with COVID, everything shut down, so I ain't been back home in a minute. But like I said, Cameroon Peking, but that boy to the fullest. Artist, entrepreneur, host, the Stuck in the Middle podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
the author of the new book, No Such Thing as Halfway, no novel, romance novel, and it's been doing great. It was number one Amazon African Dramas and Plays, and we just praise God. We thank God.
Chapeau, chapeau, bro. You know what? Before we get into talking about the book proper, I know you're also an artist.
Yes.
And I've listened to your songs, man. You're like teaching. It's almost like attending a class and getting a lesson about life.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that music career of yours.
Yeah, yeah. I started doing music. It's crazy. Back home in Cameroon, music is like, you know, um, just now really, really picking up. And when my introduction to music is really all the way back to like primary school. I started doing poetry. You know what I mean? Like back home, to get girls, it's not here where you just get in proximity with them and then y'all hang out, hang out, hang out. And yeah, I think back home you gotta talk to her. You gotta have words. You get forget paro. You get forget. You know what I'm saying? Like you
No, you
forget
forget like, wow,
belong.
language. You ever did it.
You forget belong. It chat chap so yeah, yeah more. But I wrote poetry for people, not only for myself but for people, for friends to be able to woo and get girls. And then when I moved here, it was one day, the cheese bus, which is the school bus, we were getting up the bus, and a couple friends of mine were going to record. And I just tagged along. I said, man, I'm trying to go, see what this is about. And I recited one of my poetry on a beat. We took it to school the next day. People loved it, and my head just got big. So I started doing music from there. And I've been doing it since 2009. 2009, yeah. So 12 years, if my math is right, if I can count. Yeah, I've been doing music for a minute. But I do Afro beats, Afro trap. If anybody not familiar with me, Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac, all that good stuff. Title, you find my songs on there. And yeah, I rap in Pidgin, Awing, French, all that good stuff. The music is dope. Go check it out.
Wow. So I just want to like understand what pushed you to get into music.
Man, it's so easy to do music, yo. And it's such a beautiful medium to be able to express, understand like yourself. It's therapeutic too, you know what I mean? Like for me, it was just a medium. It was just a way to express myself, things that I was going through. You hear my songs, like everything is, even the book, like it's based off not only my experience, but other people's experience that I, saying like encounter and experience. And it's just a dope, easy way to express yourself. You know what I mean? At the time, you know, I didn't really see the value in making a living doing it. I was just like, man, I'm blessed with the skills to be able to use words in a beautiful way to tell stories. And
Mhm.
that's all I did. And fast forward, people started paying to stream, and it's like you can actually make money doing it too. Say less. I just kept at it, and had to put music on the side to be able to write the book. And we back at it. You know what I mean? Like when God gives you a dream, you gotta make it work. You feel me?
Wow. So how was that path? How was that career, the music career? We'll talk about you being a host and all that. How's that career been for you? 12 years on, how did your public accept it?
Yeah, yeah,
How's that career been for you?
yeah. It's been interesting because like it took me a longer time. Can you hear me? Is my audio good, by the way?
Oh, you're great.
Okay,
See,
sweet.
people do today not dope, the man. I wish that every one-on-one I have, every conversation I have should be like this. Man, you give
Yeah,
a big signal.
You know, we
Because
thank God.
like, especially my guests, their audio is always like having a little hitch, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we thank God. You'll be fine to the end. But now, like, you know, music,
Holy Ghost in the building.
it, it sounded too, you know.
Yes, best day to, to be your best.
Facts, facts. I started my career like on, or even still on Orthodox, because it took me, you know, saying like a while to figure out my sound. Like most people, it's like I want to do trap, I want to do R&B, I want to do rap. For me, it's like I didn't know what I wanted to do with music, so it was a little difficult. Like I feel like I wasted a lot of years, you know, my early formative years in my music career wasted just trying to find my sound. And I mean, like I started doing rap, you know what I mean, trying to be, you know, just move here, trying to be like, you know, the gangster raps, using language, you know, metaphors that I wasn't about, like, in life that I was living. And then, you know what I mean? Like I got into conscious rap because it was really what I was most comfortable with, you know what I'm saying? Like speaking about real life experience, things that happening back home that I grew up. I mean, like relatable stuff, you know, the struggles, you know. And then when I moved to college, you know, that's when I met the Lord, and my life flipped, and I got into, you know, CHH, which is Christian hip hop, and that's really where I've really stayed, you know, till now, in the past, like I want to say 5 years. But now I do Afrobeats, Afro trap, but also, you know, from that, you know, Christian worldview lens. And I think I'm comfortable now. I think I'm happy now. You know what I mean? Like doing Afro trap, Afro beats. Not only because it's, you know, like it's popping, but also because that's, you know, saying like that's me. You know, I don't have to, you know, worry about somebody saying, "Hey, I can't understand your accent." You know, being also from Cameroon and things like that. Which was the comments that and feedback that I was getting. People were like, "When you rap, you have an accent. It's not gonna be acceptable in the mainstream."
There's a beauty in it. That accent, that African accent, our spice, Lord man.
You
That
know.
is what makes it beautiful. That's what adds that little punch into it.
You know, but you know, when I was doing music, it wasn't, you know, a thing that I celebrated back then as well. You know, not until like, you know, so everybody, you know, I'm black, I'm African. Back then, it's like, where you from? You know, people say Caribbean and things like that. Even, you know, your accent, you want to switch it up a little bit, sound. But now it's like I'm authentic. I'm happy with who I am, and couldn't be more proud of my heritage and my background. And the accent is like, yo, I'm unapologetically out with picking. I even rap and sing.
My brother, see, I am who I am. I embrace who I am. My curves and everything. My brownness. You know, that strong accent again, and that's what makes me different. That's what makes me stand out. All right, so back reflex. I don't know how do you feel about giving your audience a little bit of some of that juicy melody that comes out of your, you know, la musique qui sort
You
de
just put me in a spot like this.
Yes, so
Time and we might just hit a barbecue. If your name was Juliet, that would be your monarchy. But you could program me. All right, sure. Yes, I guess it's you. You the one I really want to be with you. Saying this is saying that, girl. That's nothing new. I'm the type of girl for a ride me. You come slowly and I call you, but you come through. Girl, you know I keep you better than the sun do. Every morning can't wait to tell you bonjour. Don't be me if you talk like you know it's all true. Yeah, so that's for Fine Girls. It's out on me.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I hope that you're ready to talk more, maybe share more music with us as the program goes on. So tell us about your podcast, Stuck in the Middle. That name. The very first time I saw that name, Stuck in the Middle, I was like, this is so ingenious.
Yeah.
Sense. Tell us a little bit about that podcast.
Yeah,
like, how did you get into it? What was it that inspired you to, you know, to get into a podcast? And that name, Stuck in the Middle, what was it? You know, how was it born?
Yeah, stuck in the middle really is the brainchild. Shout out to AK, my brother. Shout out to Sir Hans. You know what I mean? Like they like pioneers of the show. And initially, I was brought on to be like, you know what I'm saying, like the technical director, because my background is in communications. And it really stuck in the middle. It started from us or from them realizing that people from African descent who live in the diaspora, whether it's the United States or Europe or Canada, North America, wherever you are, doing extraordinary things other than a normal lawyer, doctor, engineer that we're expected to be. People killing it in the media game, like you know you are doing. People are killing it in the entrepreneur game. Women are excelling, doing incredible things, raising funds and starting businesses that are lasting. And we were like, yo, we don't have to reach out to the Oprahs and the Rihannas and the, you know what I mean, like Tyler Perry's and the Jay-Z's. We got amazing people right here in our backyards from places that we are from that we can touch, who got incredible stories. So let's have conversations with them and inspire the next generation, inspire somebody who wants to do what they're doing, so they can be able to share their story, share their advice, share experiences, so we can break those molds and move forward. And you know what I mean? Like the name Stuck in the Middle, is everybody is between point A and point B. You know what I mean? Like you got to diaspora, but your focus is back home because you want to build similar thing back home. You got a 9 to 5, and you got a hustle, entrepreneurial hustle, that you want to quit that 9 to 5 and focus on your hustle.
That's true.
You in school, you know what I'm saying? Like you got work. So everybody's always between point A and B or point B and C. So it's like we're stuck in the middle, but you know what I mean? Like we got advice, we got experts, we got people who've been through it, sharing their experiences, sharing everything, so you can be able to break the mold and move forward. And that's what Stuck in the Middle is about. I'll tell you this, yo, we started doing it February 2017, February 3rd, 2017. So it's been like 4 years now.
That was even before I ever started. Like when I started my first show official under Gwendy Media, that was in 2017, but that was October. That was a Celebrate Africa TV show. So you guys are like older than me in this game, man.
No, man, but you're killing it. You're killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing your thing, and I'm very.
And I had to put a pause, of course, because I got married and I had to pop them babies. You know. I'm like, oh God, I don't done with my work for this area. Let me focus on what.
Congratulations, by the way, already on the baby. I just saw him before we went live.
Yeah, he had to say hi, Uncle.
I know, right? Now the man is a gentleman. He was smiling. It's dope. Congratulations.
He'll sing gospel music for God. You'll surely get straight from you.
I'm producing him.
Yes.
How old is he?
About a year old.
Okay, yeah. I got 2 nephews. Shout out to King Asher. Shout out to St. Liam. My 2 little nephews. So I feel you. But like Stuck in the Middle, really. You know what I mean? Like I have stories upon stories upon stories upon stories for days on people's life. Just yesterday, for example, when you know what I'm saying, our DMs are flooded with people like, yo, I watched this episode. This guest, and we connecting people, networking people, getting people jobs.
Wow.
Businesses. You know what I'm saying? Yes, somebody just hit us up yesterday. They watched an episode of my mom, doing the plantain chips on our channel. And they're like, I'm going to do this for years. How do I do it? And that's the thing about, to the platform. It's like, there's no selfishness. You know what I mean? Like, no selfishness. And if people have access to things, they're willing to share it. And we tailor our questions.
From another angle, like you can see, Africans, you can see African-Americans, you can see people from everywhere who are actually making it in what they're doing. They're proud of who they are, who, if we don't give them that platform, the world might not be able to see them or know them someday. So, yeah.
Exactly. And you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Highlighting incredible people and just telling those stories. It's been such a blessing, such a joy. You know what I mean? And, man, I can't put a price tag on it. It's hard though.
It is.
Cool. Like, yo, there's weeks where I'm like, bro, you sure we wouldn't get cancel?
I just want to say congratulations. Like, I've watched a couple of your programs and I really, really admire what you do. It's so professional. You guys have a studio. I need to come down there and you learn a few tricks, because we learn. We grow by learning, we grow by sharing, we grow by collaborating. And I'm one of those people who never stops learning. I believe that I can always talk to other professionals who are doing the same thing like me and, find out from them, hey, what can we do to make these things better? What are some of the things that we can do to make our community grow, to make our community better at what they're doing, to help more people, to give more people the limelight, and stuff like that. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem if I come to you and say, hey,
we would love to collaborate. Stuck in the middle. We would love, not only because you don't, but because, like we recognize what you're doing for the community and we see that, it's very invaluable and we want to have you. So I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ma. She's gonna reach out. So be ready.
Oh, yes,
Me,
I am ready. I'll tell you that. I just want to say hello to everybody who's watching. And I forgot to say happy birthday. That's the first thing we do on this show every single day. So you see that Reflex took me off guard. Like he just got me like, oh my gosh. First, I didn't know what to put on. I was like, the guy go car, it go just tie skin. I don't know how to even put my, that kind of thing. But hey, shout out to all those who are celebrating their birthdays. John Trevor, I already celebrated you yesterday, but happy birthday again. I don't know who else is celebrating today, but if you know someone celebrating, just let me know. And you guys are our family, so want to celebrate you. So, George Trevor, thank you for watching. Dr. Lois Ekwe, who is working on this award in Cameroon, the Lois Entertainment Awards. It's going to take place in November, and she'll probably be coming on the show here to talk more about it. Of course, Awa Amy Bright, who is one of our top fans on Wendy Media TV. We love you, darling. Claude Songe, who is the CEO and founder of Chanel Tree Zones, watching all the way from Paris.
thank you.
He's one of the top Cameroonian and African promoters over there. He works a lot with artists and other African celebs and personalities. Welcome, Kayleen F. Kayleen F. Welcome to you. So hey, Bad Reflex, let's talk about this book. No
Yes.
Such Thing as Halfway. And on that poster, I see a man's face looking that way and a woman's face looking that way. And I know that it's all about a love story. So tell us a little bit about this, the author aspect of you. Like, when was it born? Like, when did you know that you had those skills, or what was it that pushed you to get into being a writer?
Man, thank you so much, by the way, for highlighting the book. That's why we're here today.
Yes.
In addition to the podcast, music, every other thing that I got going on. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's watching, man. Like, writing is always a dream of mine. Like I said, I started off writing poetry, and it's just like second nature. I mean, it's like an extra fiber or muscle in my body. Saying like writing, I do it all day, every day. Like I might not, always say, hey, I'm writing, but every day, my notepad on my phone, I'm writing, or I'm thinking in my head. I have stories upon stories in my head memorized. But this book was born out of necessity. No such thing as halfway. It was born out of necessity, and it's realizing and recognizing that tribalism is something that we still struggle with as people, not only from Africa, but even in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like in Eastern Europe, in Chinese cultures, but honing in on Africa, which is what I'm most familiar with. My zip code alone here in Maryland, where I live, I know over 5 friends who have gone through tribalism. When it comes to their relationships, are going through tribalism, or we'll go through tribalism just
Oh, yeah, that exists a lot in our community.
right. You know what I mean? Just by mere virtue of the fact of who they want to, pursue in a relationship. And I went through it, myself, being in a relationship with somebody who was not from where I'm from, being my country, and being born from being able to put that relationship to a different level because of the mere fact that I'm not from where they're from, or she was not from where I'm from. And so I realized that a lot of people are going through it. It's a necessity. Tribalism in 2020 still exists, even more so than ever. And there is curses to it. There's blessings to it, being able to, like we said earlier, embrace your identity and your culture and, like celebrate. But when it comes to, like democracy, when it comes to love, when it comes to, a whole lot of things, tribalism is holding us back as a people. And so I was like, yo, let me write this book. And it has been well received. Number one on Amazon, African Place in Drama.
Wow.
And it's been so well received. We're doing an audiobook now, so we can be able to get it back home in different parts of Africa because there's a huge demand. And so I'm just blessed, yo. I cannot complain at all.
Wow. You know what? I am really, really, really touched by this particular aspect of yours, being an author, being a writer. I have a certificate in publishing. I've never used it. I always feel like I don't have enough time to write. I always feel like maybe I need to prepare a lot before I can write. I start writing and I just feel like, oh, maybe it's just a whole hustle. Like maybe I can just stick with editing or just, proofreading but it's important for you to be able to take that step, So what was it that triggered you to say, hey, it's time right now?
Yeah, like I said, out of necessity, and also just I thought it would be the perfect medium, like to be able to convey the message. I was like, yo, if I write this in a blog, people are gonna read it, in like an hour. I'm not gonna be able to convey all the thoughts around it. It's gonna, a paragraph. People gonna read an hour, comment, share it, boom, it's finished. But I wanted something that's tangible that can last for the next generation, and the generation before me, like, be able to read and find themselves in it. Like something that holds value, that speaks, to multi-generations. And I was like, if I do it in an album, which is very easy for me to do as well as a musician, it's not gonna reach every demographic and artist that I wanted to reach. Like, yeah, Afrobeats, Afro trap, but my grandma Mini listen, my mama, my pa, they will say, "Oh, my begin to sing, but they ain't listening." You know what I'm saying? Like, they might watch it and give me the views, but they ain't really paying this. They ain't really like supporting like my generation. So
That's not the thing for them. A lot of African parents in their minds is like lawyer, doctor, all those kind of professions that have these huge names and stuff like that. Art is not really the thing. And then when you start talking about writing stories, it's an amazing thing, but I think that our community is slowly getting into it. They're so slowly getting into the realization of the fact that, hey, I can actually put something down in writing, and then people can also listen to it in an audio copy and learn from it. So you've already said that the public has been very welcoming about this book. How do you feel about it personally, putting out something that kind of like bridges, that cultural identity, that discrimination, and a reality that a lot of people are facing? Do you feel you're hitting the point on the head, or do you feel, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I seriously, hope and have done my part, in contributing to the conversation. Conversation has been had is going to continue being had as far as tribalism, as far as cross-cultural relations. But the book, like I said, has been well received. He's had his criticisms, what I mean? Like every body of work, and you welcome that as a creative, because as like, hey, you're human, right? And he humbles you. But I'm happy with the product. Shout out to everybody, like my family, and Kellen is watching. What up, love you. He helped me incredibly, like in editing. I have an incredible team, like of editors. Shout out to Ivan as well. I see you, bro. We had a conversation about, creating a book. I had an incredible team of editors that I hired, incredible support team of people, like keeping me grounded. That's why I'm giving up, because man, there was some nights when your boy was like, I don't know about the book team. Listen,
So tell me, now that you're talking about this other side, like, the back end of what was happening before the book, how was that working experience for you? Was it difficult? Did you have to, for how long did you write this book? Just take that process.
Yeah, I started writing in October 2018.
Okay, wow.
That's 2 years, yeah. And the book published May 5th of this year. So we published in the middle of a pandemic.
Man, number one spot for weeks straight.
Exactly. In the middle of a pandemic, we published. But I started writing 2 years ago, October 2018.
You guys bump the likes, right? Destroy that like button, destroy the likes, the love, and see hearts going up, okay?
And it was a lot of sleepless nights. And as a writer, you just kind of find your groove. I found myself, more expressive like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's when people sleep. That's when I was writing. And it's like people notice. Like I tell everybody, good night, family, everybody, and everybody sleep. I'm up writing, and then work next it, and then podcast, and then business. You know what I'm saying? But that's just when my brain was more functioning. And once I got through like the latter, stages of the book, I actually had a draft. That's my main. I just gave him. I printed it all out, stacks of paper. Like I'm talking, just click, 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 no edit. Printed it all out, no nothing. Gave it to him. He read it for a month.
Wow.
We sat down in Starbucks. We had a conversation about it. He said, "Look, this is trash. This is dope. Focus on this. Develop this. This is trash. You just throw it away. Develop it." I took that back in 2 months. Develop. Showed it into him. He said, "Cool." Then we hired an editor. They had their own stuff to say. So it's a whole process. Throughout that, I'm spending money. I'm spending time. I'm having sleep. And it's a hard story to write because, like I said, it comes from a real place. You know what I'm saying? Something that I went. So being
Okay.
able to like reach back to those, you know what I'm saying, like times, you know, mentally, emotionally, it was kind of hard. And also being, you know what I'm saying, found closure. Like I had found closure. I had healed. But I realized that people are still going through this and that the story had power and that it is needed. You know, people can relate to it and people have related to it. People have found solace in it. People have found comfort in it. And that's just what drove me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what kept pushing me. And, you know, that's you know, it speaks to the testimony of the fact that the book, you know, is #1 on Amazon African Drama Place. And
Us halfway. You know, a lot of times people would say, meet me halfway, meet me halfway. You know what? Let's just meet halfway. The things that you don't like about me, the things that you like about me, or the things that you love about my culture and stuff, like, let's meet halfway. You know, a lot of people say that. Like, it's a very tough title that you chose because so many people misunderstand this title. Like, they interpret it in their own way, right? Depending on the situation that they're going through. Have you had people approach you, maybe who thought differently about the book, and then you had to like explain to them again, like, no, this is actually what I'm talking about? Or was it just so easy for people to, to understand?
oh yeah, for sure. You know, the title, and for the most part, people love the title, and you know, we chose it.
It's a
Uh,
title. Yeah.
and thank you. We chose this specifically so it can, you know, grab attention, be able to sell some units. I had a pool of 22 titles,
Wow.
and we boiled it down to 4 finalists and then 2 finalists. The last 2 finalists were If I Let Go and No Such Thing as Halfway. If I Let Go sounded like a boy band single, like a NSYNC Backstreet Boys kind of song. So like, yeah, that's not gonna sell units. But No Such
Right.
Thing, it comes from a notion of, you know what I'm saying, like a warrior's mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like the Japanese have a culture where, you know, a warrior, if he, you know, dishonors his family or dishonors his nation, he takes himself out. You know what I mean? Like, but in the warrior mentality, like I'm gonna go all the way. It's the same thing
Yeah.
with love. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, to be in a relationship that's 50-50. I want you to give me your 100 for my 100. And that's a
Mhm.
notion of no such thing as halfway, all the way, because not to spoil the book, but our characters in the novel, they're faced with the outside pressure of like, yo, no go, person for the house, we know, come on, you know, such and such a tribe or such a country. And that kind of thing would put a wedge between 2 people. And it's like, yo, will I go all the way to love you regardless of this? Or
Mhm.
you know, like bow out halfway? And you know, the characters in the novel, they fix me. Not only that, but long distance. It's a story based on long distance format, something that a lot of us go through. People love people from America to United to back home Cameroon, from Dallas to, you know, DC, from, you know, Canada to Pennsylvania, wherever. So it's a lot of intricacies in there, but you just gotta go all the way when it comes to love. And that's another thing too, is commitment, right? Like we struggle with commitment issues. And the book
Mhm.
talks about all of that, but the overarching theme is tribalism and long distance relationship and how we can, you know, sense people love each other, love our cultures, embrace that, but still be able to open ourselves to other cultures and get to know each other. Like I can't just be like, yo, what's your last name? I'm gonna judge you because you have Olufemi, you from Nigeria. I
Still,
don't know
you gotta go
Nigeria.
all the way. Get to know someone. Get to know their likes. Get to know. You just can't say, okay, based on what I know, like this is the book cover. I know the story.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen that way.
And that's what curse of tribalism is. You know what I'm saying? Like it just judges somebody on the face value. You know what I mean? Like taking politics for example. It's like, you know, we have two candidates running for office, and it's like this person is from my tribe. I'm gonna vote for them because they're from my tribe. Now, like, hold on, what
Even
are
if
they?
the book is not use, it's not going to help you. Like their policies don't really go with what you want, but because they're from your place, you're like, oh, naturally, I will vote for this person because it's family first, it's community first. That's not how things work.
That's tribalism. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, getting to know. You know what I'm saying? Like a person getting to know ins and outs before you make judgments. I mean, it's okay to make judgments, but let's not judge them for face value. Tribalism is hurting us more than it's benefiting us as it stands right now. But it can be a lot of benefits if
Okay.
we do it the right way.
So now, bat reflex. Achu bat reflex. Which name do you prefer to be called by? I know everybody knows you as reflex.
Flex is
Flex, right?
yes.
Okay. So now you're an author. Is this your first book?
It's my first book, and not the last. It's definitely a lot more coming. I'm
Oh,
looking
wow.
at like
And it's good.
2022 is my next novel. It's gonna be out. So yeah, but this is the first. This is the first.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of caps that you wear. You're an artist, you're a writer, you're a host, you're an entrepreneur. Are you going to be moving away from all of those to focus on your writing career, or how do you intend to do it?
Yeah, man, that's a dope question. I ask myself that every day.
Yeah, because it's gonna take a lot, But
I'm a,
then I want to know from you, like, how are you gonna manage it? Are you just going to embrace this, this new path because it entails so much sacrifice, time, and all that? How do you
Mhm.
to do it?
Yeah, and I find a lot of fulfillment, so like extending thoughts in a book too. And I think I'm praying about it, discussing it over with myself and people that I trust. And, I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but I'm really stuck in the middle. Like I said, it's so much joy in doing it.
Yeah.
It's nature. It's also we have.
Well, maybe you might have to take a break because why? I mean, the only thing that might hold you down right now is the pandemic because you can't really go out. But with a book, you have to be traveling on the road, promoting it. And I mean, it's like music. You're already into this, but you really devote your time. You're going to be on shows a lot. You're
Yeah,
going to be everywhere talking about it. So,
yeah, yeah. Definitely, the break is coming. The break is coming, and I definitely need to take a break because what I mean. I need it. I've been doing virtual tours. Promoting the book.
overdue.
Exactly. And now that stuff is starting to open back up. Shout out to Daphne. We're booking. Shout out to Daphne, my PR. We're booking. Like book signings and things. So
She's amazing. And she was on my case.
oh, yeah. She don't play. She don't play. She's on it. She's on it. She's incredible.
Watching? I don't see her name here. She's not watching. Daphne, where are you?
She's out doing her thing. You know what I mean? But she's definitely gonna watch on playback. She's definitely gonna
Yeah,
watch.
you guys should share the video because we need more people coming up. Okay, so Bat Reflex, let's get now into some more juicy stuff, right? Because we know that this book was built from, a relationship and things that you've seen happen around. So is there a relationship? Is Bat Reflex available, taken, what
Nah,
is
I'm thinking, like the book, like I said, it's based on a true story, something that I went
is
through.
that you that you're talking about, or is it just some of you or somebody else?
Yeah, no, it's 60% based on my story, 60% based on real events that I went through, and also 40% based on this stories of people that I personally know. I borrow from the story because tribalism in relationships is like basically the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you love somebody, and they're
Yeah.
from outside of where you're from, and your parents are like nope, or your family's like nope, and their family's like nope, and it puts a wedge between y'all. It's like, oh, are we gonna pursue this as adults? Be like, forget y'all, we're gonna do what we want to do, or you're gonna be like, hey, man, I really love my family. I respect my family. Let me put an end to this relationship because I don't want to, like alienate or lose my family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but like I said, it's based on personal experience that was very hard, difficult. We thank God for closure. We thank God for healing. We thank God for growth. But at the moment, like I'm happily in a relationship that is flourishing. That, like both families celebrate each other. And that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like,
That's so beautiful. And I know that a lot of beautiful girls out there who are sending me an inbox like, is he available? Like, is he single and stuff? Because hey, people are looking for every
you
to connect.
will light out people with ideas.
I'm sorry to disappoint you girls. No vex, but don't take, you know. So hey, tell me how has it been like, managing all these different capacities that you have,
Mhm.
um, and managing your relationship as well. How have
Yeah.
you managed to do all of those things?
And you know what? That's a great question because my current relationship is we just celebrated 11 months. Shout out, love you. We just celebrated. Kelly, she's watching actually. We just celebrated 11 months. And, it's like relationship is it's an actual job. You know what I mean? Like
It's a job, my brother. Yes, so
you can tell me all about it too, because you in it. You know what I mean? But
congratulations. It's not easy. It's a building process. There are
uh,
days you're like, oh my gosh. And then the days that you're like, thank you, Jesus. So it's always like
you know what I mean?
the title is like no such thing as halfway. You have to go all in.
Wait, because like this day, so I'm like, I want to edit this video. I want to research for guests. I want to, write a paragraph or, a chapter in a novel. And then, you got Bay on the line, like, yo, you ain't spending time with me. or yo, let's go do this. It's like, bro, I'm trying to secure the you got to find time. But a good thing though is like we're stuck committed. We have an incredible team. You know, Raj, Sir Charles Tutu, my brother AK. You know, Mashi does the booking, just like Daphne does bookings for my book. You know what I mean? And like my brother, he does the technical part of it. Like you know, we do interviews, edits it, and just the whole thing works like a machine. But when it comes to my music, my writing, it's kind of like all on me. I just gotta find time. You know what I mean? Like so I have. You
Yeah, of
know,
course, it's coming out of you. It's coming out of your head. You're the one that's creating it and all that. So, but I mean, it's so important. Like when you're in a relationship, especially, and you're a creative person, it just goes the same for other jobs. But I just feel like when you're a creative person, maybe you're in contact with so many people who sometimes might send you inappropriate messages. You also need to have a partner, a husband, a wife who is understanding of what you're doing and who is trusting, a young fireman like you who's been singing, and when you're on the stage, girls are screaming. I watch one of your shows and it's like going crazy. There's some people who are just like, they're just carried away by that moment, but you still need that stable relationship, that person, in your life who can understand you and who would trust you regardless of anything.
Yeah, and she's been incredible too, you know what I'm saying? Like helping out, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the book, you know what I mean? Like editing the book. When she said typo, she'd be like, you're not gonna embarrass me, you're not gonna embarrass yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
my God.
there's posting a caption on Instagram or anything, it's like, yo, clean this up. But you need somebody like to ground you because there is, you know what I'm saying, like that temptation. Also as a person who, you know what I'm saying, like I said earlier, you know, I person from the Christian world, but you gotta be humble. You know, like I sell, you know, 100 books a week.
Oh
That
my God.
that stuff can go to your head. You know what I mean? You start, you know, being prideful and things like that. But God can humble
Fuck
you.
my brother.
You know
Do
what I
is
mean?
boring.
Nah, but we thank God. You know, so you need somebody that can ground you, remind you, you know, of the reason of your why, to remind you of why you're doing what you do. You know what I mean? And just encourage you. And
Mhm.
times when when you might be struggling with anxiety or just doubt, just there to help you as well. Somebody to just
Yeah,
cheer you.
that calming spirit, you know what, in the evening after all of this is gone, because all those things they happen during the day, but when you're in that quiet space where you just need to sleep, you just need to rest, you need that person that can just make you feel good, that can give you a hug and say, good job, honey. Take it easy, honey. We're in this together. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna make it work.
Exactly.
So much. Hey, so
Yeah.
tell me what's on the way right now? Now the book is out there. Ça fait son chemin, comme on dit en français.
Mm.
I just couldn't find the right word in English, so
Doing
ça
the
fait son
thing.
chemin, comme on dit en français. So what are the next steps that you have?
Yeah, like I said, we in the road, book signings, a little book tour, and then I'm also writing. I just started writing my next story.
Mhm.
Probably be out fourth quarter 2022. That is like October, November, December 2022.
Okay.
I can't that the story. Woo, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. But the music.
Is it like a follow up to No Such Thing as Halfway, or is it just totally different?
Uh, I ain't gonna say much.
I like that. I respect that. Seriously, you just keep it low key, but guys, just anticipate it's going to be amazing. So, do you have like a plan already, like a schedule for your road tour, or all the programs that you have for this book yet?
Yeah, now right now it's just Baltimore and DC and Maryland. We just in Baltimore, DC, Maryland. Don't have like the coordinates as far as like when we just reaching out right now. We got some confirms. Dates are tentative because of COVID, so we just still keeping our ears open with people who are hosting. So, but things are finally starting to open back up. So I'm excited to hit the road. But music in the meantime is coming out. Music is coming out. I got new music coming out. And also the audiobook. I just recorded the audiobook. I actually narrated it myself.
Oh,
Uh,
wow, that's so cool.
that was hard, 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 hard.
Imagine that. Like, did you break down at some points? Because I've heard a lot of authors, especially authors who are writing like a story that was very related to something they've gone through, like telling you how at some point they were heartbroken, they couldn't continue, they had to stop for days, they had to take just a time off to relax because it got so emotional, that they couldn't just pull through. Like, did you have that experience?
Yeah, well, not similar experience as far as like being because I'm so familiar with the story, but the difficult part of it was narrating it in a way that what I'm saying, like people are listening like I'm a professional. I kept messing up, It's just and editing it as well. It's just I respect whoever does audiobooks. I hear you now. You people
Uh,
have an incredible job.
the thing is, nobody's job is easy. A lot
Well,
of times, like I've even tried just to do a simple thing, like if a bulb gets blown at home, and I, oh my gosh, I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do now? I have to call my husband. I'll be like, hey, babes, what do I do here? Like, you know,
it's hard. It's hard, but we got through it. Took me a month and a half to do it, and it's in review right now. So the audiobook, and I'm also excited about that because we finally get it to Africa. People have been asking. DHL is slow in the process of getting this paperback, but we're working on that as well. Getting the paperbacks back home, but definitely the audiobook will be back home, and
mhm,
people. So like you work out listening to it, you drive listening to it, and all that good stuff. But it's an
right.
incredible story, man. Like when it comes to tribalism, there's a lot of fear,
Mhm,
that comes to it. One of the causes of it too, just to shed some more light on it.
yeah.
That it's easy for a soldier to go to war and kill somebody in the opposition. What I'm saying, like line of battle, because they don't really know that. But it's the same thing in tribalism. It's like it's easy for me to dislike my brother or my sister because I don't really know them. But when we get to know each other, we can put love forward because fear is illogical and
Love it. Yeah.
exactly fear is illogical and it makes dumb decisions. And so when we love, we put the best foot forward, which is love, and we put understanding. Then we know each other and and enjoy each other's cultures. Because if I'm
Yeah.
from another culture, my kids don't know two languages. My kids gonna have two cultures and two countries to visit. But there is also beauty in embracing one's culture. Ain't nothing wrong with marrying from where you're from. But
Mhm.
let's try to mitigate tribalism, and that's what I argue in the
Yeah.
end of
I mean, the thing is, finding that person that you connect with. It doesn't
it.
matter how they look like. It doesn't matter where they come from. If that person was meant for you, you naturally just connect and you
Yeah,
realize that there's so much that you guys have in common. And those are the things that matter. A lot of times, parents, friends, peers, relatives, they don't know what you're experiencing, right? They've lived their lives, they've had their relationships. Give people a chance. Okay.
right,
So
right.
I just think that this is something that the community needs to hear more about, and that's a good thing that you're able to bring that up. So
Mhm.
what's your audience like? Who were you writing this book for? Everybody, or was it for specific? Let's say we come from Africa, so was it mostly for Africans, or did you widen it up a little bit?
Now, yeah, like tribalism and the book, the story is so relatable because it also talks about long distance relationship. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I,
yeah, I think I saw that.
yeah, I've spoken to podcasts hosted by whites who had no idea, and they're like, "Oh," like it's free for everybody. I've spoken to like Chinese Asian community because they also go through it. Listen, you can go to an Indian man's 7-Eleven and shop all you want. The minute you start dating his daughter, you don't want to see him in his store no more. We still deal with it. Feel me? It's a huge thing. And my guy, I can date an Indian chick. You know what I'm saying? And run the risk of her dad shooting me. But it's written for everybody. The older generation and the younger generation. That's why I chose the book to write it so that the younger generation can come up and have something that's still relatable. Because
Hmm.
not they don't still have that to deal with, but just to say, dang, y'all paved the way for us to be able to, what I'm saying, like enjoy this rich cultures, but also for the older generation because what I'm saying, like I've had conversations with people that I otherwise would not have been able to have because of this book sitting in front of them or it being a medium. And so it's just a beautiful thing. Everybody's welcome to read it. No such thing as halfway the title. Pick it up, have it,
Yeah.
reflex.com. Enjoy the read, please.
Yeah. So I was just coming to that right now, just before you kind of mentioned it. Like, so how do we get in contact with the book? Like, if you want to get the book, what are the different avenues and outlets where they can get the book?
Yeah, Barnes& and Noble, Amazon, website, imreflex.com. You get a signed copy. If you want to, you go imreflex.com. You can also, we got T-shirts, we got everything. And yeah, that's about it. Just hit me up on social media. I am Reflex on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm easily accessible. Or Middle Podcast, that's SITM Podcast.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
definitely that akintola@gmail.com if you want to book me for anything. So yeah, the book is out there. Just search it. No such thing as happening on Google. You can get it there. Your book is dropping soon, soon,
Okay, so
soon.
you have been #1 for a couple of weeks now on Amazon Africa and Dramas. Am I
Yeah,
getting it right? Do
yeah.
you think that someday you could develop this book into a movie? Because that's one thing that happens a lot.
The
When
Fisherman's Diary. I'm coming for you. It's like, yeah, like I'm thinking about a animated series.
okay, that's
So it's more relatable. Not
yeah,
more relatable.
because
Also,
sometimes people would, they would like to watch it as well. So many times when you've seen a good book come out, you don't know, somebody might just want to, do it as a movies, or you might want to do it. So it just depends if somebody buys it and stuff
right
like that
now,
in
yeah,
order to a
I've
movie.
I've had people. I've had shout out to Aziz. You know, my guy Aziz. I've had people. You know, what I'm saying, just friends hit me up like, yo, you want to shoot it? We'll, you know, what I'm saying, it's a stack donation. You know what I'm saying? So
That's good.
I
That's
just want to
good.
find and no, it's such a blessing. I just want to find the right, screenwriter to write the story. It's already written, but you know what I'm saying, to put it in a way that it's not ready for the screen. Find the right crew, but definitely praying about it, definitely thinking about it, definitely interested in it. So,
Mhm.
we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
So what are your expectations for this book and even, your music? But I know that the book is your focus right now. What are your expectations? You're on Wendy Media TV on Spotlight. What are your expectations for the public that's watching, that will watch later on, for those who've not had the opportunity of seeing the book, hearing about it? What's your expectation?
Yeah, my hope is that we can leave not undermining relationships. Like the Rwandese girl, her boyfriend who wishes to marry her because they're from different ethnicities, can what I'm saying, pursue their relationships, or
Mhm.
like the white guy, what I'm saying, pursue a black girl from Africa, Nigeria, or what I mean, like I can have conversations, with my parents, open conversations about a girl that I'm interested in, what I'm saying, like who's another culture, or
Yeah.
somebody who just really loves their Nigerian culture can find them an Igbo girl because they're from Igbo. I also love that and not judge somebody who's doing otherwise. And my expectations is really that tribalism can be celebrated as well as understood, and that fear will not deter us from saying, like, casting judgments on our brothers and sisters. And I'm saying, just on a personal level, my expectation is that people would buy it, give it out, as gifts, share it, share Granny Media
And
TV.
especially learn more, because this is it. This is
You know what I
this,
mean?
this is a story. This is not just a story. This is what's happening in the world today. I think that love is the key at the end of the day.
Facts,
If there's love, all of these things are just going to vanish in the air.
facts. Yeah, and yeah, like even democracy as well. I mean, especially in Africa, that's my expectation that, I talk about it in the book as well, that, we can conquer that and be able to, like move forward as a people. But yeah, music wise, just life wise, just hope to grow as a creative, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, like I'm just expecting more growth and success, uh, and you hope to be back to give you an update sometime down the line.
Oh, yes. So how do you feel about giving us another song? Maybe a nice love melody, that kind of thing now, just spice it up, because we are slowly getting to the end of the program. I'm not even seeing questions coming up. Guys are just enjoying your voice.
I don't know if you
You don't need to talk with some melody. I should say, oh, man, did you like, okay, let me just, oh, this is good. I like it.
let me see if
Giving us another
um
music.
like DM. Boy, if you see the chat, you will ain't yourself for heaven, no if you live on past. Say that, you put me on the spot. I did one earlier. You have to rewind it right now.
Do you want to put it on? Like, you can play it in the
I can
background.
play, yeah, let me play something real quick. Let me play something real quick. Hey, I dropped 30-track album. Y'all can go listen right now. It's called
30 track.
30
Wow.
track album. Link up is on there. One of my biggest tracks right now. So yeah, go support that. I got endless music on the thing. Hey, pull up with your friends now. City, y'all, I don't reach for turn up. Pull up, make it me. We go party sun to sun up. Okay, see the dress code pajamas. Listen, we don't got time for dramas. Leave that at the door with the cameras. It's a grown-up team. Put your manners. Haters posted up, I see them grinning, looking all sideways, maybe because we're winning. I'll be so focused and I'm more forgiving. How to do this all year, this is the beginning. I'm in it. It's a pure vibe when we link up. Y'all looking fly, we should link up. I'm with all my guys to link up. Everything nice when we link up. Just call my phone, make we link up. Pull up with your crew, we to link up. I'm with all my guys to link up. All chill vibes when we link up. Yeah. Yes, so.
Oh, that's a cool one. Sorry for putting you on the spot, but man, I can't have a sensational voice like yours. Somebody who drops it like it's hot. And I don't get a little bit of it. Like, I know that the audience loves that. They love to listen to music. Kaylin F says, link up fire. So, Reflex, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show, for, sharing your amazing experience with us, for sharing your book with us. No such thing as halfway. This is truly something, it's something that the world needs to adopt. Everybody needs to, grab a copy of this book and read it, and definitely try as much as possible to put love before everything. I think that's closing word, right?
Yes, that's the message. You said it. You hear it.
I was trying to get the right words. It wasn't coming. Like what I wanted to say. It wasn't just coming. But right, guys, see, you just need to go grab this book. I know that our community is not very good with reading, so probably the audio copy would do better. I love to listen. I love to watch. I think I'm that kind of person who listens more and who watches more, just because it's my preference, just because maybe I'm on the go doing something and it's easier for me to just put, my earpiece in there and listen. So, Reflex, what do you want to tell your people today before we separate? What do you get for tell your guys, your men, and that kind of stuff?
GWENDYMEDIATV, Gwenda Media Productions. Y'all rock. This is awesome stuff. Appreciate you so much for having me. Listen, whenever you're ready, we're gonna link up a Stuck in the Middle podcast. Y'all go pick up the book. It's my debut novel. No such thing as halfway. I am the author, Reflex Mba. Shout out to y'all. Audio, streaming on all social media platforms. I am Reflex. Shout out to Sen Gufar. Shout out to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Shout out to the whole team. Listen, thank you so much. This has been really dope.
Yay. Thank you. I am Reflex. I mean, we got to connect. We've got to share. If you need us to push out anything, any information, if you're on the road, if you're starting some of those projects that you talked about, just let us know. We'll definitely put it out so that more people can connect. And how much is a book, by the way? We'll not even talk about price,
so cheap. You can get, the price fluctuates online. Like on Amazon, I think it's $8 right now. It's listed at $12, so you save a couple dollars. The signed copy is $20. You can get it on my website. Barnes and Noble is $15. They're different than Amazon. So hey, just pick your poison and enjoy. The audiobook is coming up soon. If you want to read on your phone, it's $5. Listen, the book is out there. Just support anyway.
It's very affordable, guys. So there's no reason why you shouldn't get this book and grab a copy and read this amazing story. I'm sure it's going to change something about you. Offer it to people, give it as a gift to people, just so they can learn a little bit more. So, hey, I am Reflex.
Yes,
you guys just go follow him on Instagram. He already said I am Reflex, Instagram, Facebook. He has a podcast, Stuck in the Middle. When does your podcast come up?
Every Monday. So we record on Saturdays and we drop Sunday nights to Monday. So every week episode is out. We're talking to the first wine owner in Wichita, Kansas. She's a black lady. Wine shop. She has 11 wine bottles in the market. If you go to Total Wine, so like the store, she got wine in there, and she's a black lady. Incredible story. And if you've ever been thinking about investing in wine, buying a great farm in South Africa or whatever, she dropped all the gems. Stuck in the Middle on YouTube, SRTM Podcast on social media. Check us out. You're gonna be impressed. Incredible guests weekly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes,
Amazing. It's such an amazing show. I'm a fan. So
appreciate it.
just that you got a fan right here.
Thank you
And
so much.
so I just wish you all the best with your book and your music. Just keep doing the amazing things that you're doing. I don't know how you manage to do all those things so nicely, but just keep doing it, and may God continue to push you as
Man,
as you work for the community, because that's what you're doing. And I mean, all the best, man. All the
thank you
best.
so much. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for being an amazing guest and for singing, even though you were on the spot.
No, right? It's all
You're
good.
on
It's all good.
spotlight, man. What did you think?
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. It's fun. It's fun. Good
All
one.
right. All the best, Reflex.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So hey, that was Ba Reflex Achu. I don't know why I'm inversing his names. It's Achu Reflex Mba, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. He is a Cameroonian US based writer. He's an artist. You heard a little bit of his music. We were so lucky and blessed to be graced with that voice. He's an entrepreneur, and he's also the host of a very big, very interesting, I'll tell you, I don't miss the show whenever I have the opportunity. It's called Stuck in the Middle. So make sure that you check it out on Facebook and on YouTube, and just follow them. And they have great guests that they bring up every time with amazing stories to inspire and empower. And hey guys, keep following us on Gwendy Media TV, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Keep following our programs, keep commenting, keep sharing, and keep participating. And like I told you guys yesterday, we would start rewarding all of our top fans, okay? My team and I are actually working on what to do. We don't know exactly what kind of rewards that we're going to be giving, but we do have some partners who want to, reward all those who participate, either by just commenting all the time and sharing and just being participating on Gwendy Media TV to make it beautiful, to make us know that, you really care about what we do and that you appreciate what we do in the community. So keep doing the work, and you might be surprised to be the winner of an amazing prize. Next Saturday, guys, as you all know, we're going to be receiving the Cameroonian sisters who are representing us at the Plate of Origin competition in Australia. Yes, the show will be a little bit later. It's going to start at 5 p.m. US time. US Eastern time, and that's because they're all the way in Australia. And you would not imagine they would be, I think it'll be like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. in Australia. That's like pretty early, but that's a sacrifice that they're doing for you to be telling us all about their experience on this competition. Right now, they're in the semifinals. We don't know if they're going to win the grand prize of 100,000 US dollars. We hope that they do so. They'll be telling us all about that. So make it a date. Don't miss out on this program. All right, guys, you enjoy the rest of your days. I love you guys. You already know you're part of my family. It means a lot to me. I'll see you next week, but the same pleasure. Okay. God bless you. Bye bye.